So today I'm going to go over on how you can possibly scale your account and the way I did. And the way I scaled my account was mainly holding trades longer and compounding them. So I'm holding trades and I'm using the profits of those trades to re-enter. So as my account gets bigger, I have more free margin, I can enter again. Again, it's a bit more of a riskier way than closing out and then building your account size and waiting for a retest. You can also do that, and you can also do this. So we'll cover both two ways. And most recently, I took it upon myself to do a challenge, and the challenge was take 900 under 1,000 and see how far I can go with it. 900 went to 1,000, went to 1.5, went to 2.5, 3,000, 4,000, and so on above and above. The way I mainly did it was hedging, number one, which is buying and selling and holding trades for longer. So if we look at AUD USD, around this time, this is when I was doing it. So we can see price was slowing down after this downtrend. That's one thing I took in consideration. Also, what I did take in consideration was the fundamentals. What's going on? Is there a shift? Why is the move slowing down? So understanding both points from your technical stance and your fundamentals, if you do have those points noted and you do know what's going on, then it becomes a bit more easier, because using simple price action on the high time frame, you really and truly just need to stick to the high time frame. Zones are clearer. You can see what price is doing. For instance, we see price bottoming out here, sorry for my language, and we were accumulating. So if you do cut down the time frame, you'll see the accumulation very clean. Then what's happened here? Price bounced off, broke out of structure. That's telling you price is willing to go upside. Then again, the re-entry, if you didn't catch this in here, the re-entry would have been at this far demand, and you could ride the wave, right? To the next nearest high. Vice versa. What's happened here was price came into the 4-hour demand, price immediately shot back down, came into the 4-hour demand, right? We broke structure. Downtrend still obvious. Sellers are still in control here on the market. Again, price rallied back on, which you can also counter trend this as well. Price is too low to sell. Again, you'll see something similar to this happen on the low time frame. So again, always keep eyes what the 4 hours doing. Keep eyes what the 15 minutes is doing. That's what I like to do. Price came in here, you could sell. You could buy this wave, sell this wave. It's pretty quite easy. And the selling is a bit more better because you know everything is in the downtrend on AUD for the year. So once we got to this point here, I believe fundamentals were shifting. And this move here was the main key driver for everything. The reason behind this move here, I believe the Feds came out, inflation was lowering, something around those lines. That move was a very key thing in the market. And as we all know, the AUD is very sensitive to the US dollar movement, i.e. if it's going weaker, AUD pushes hard, vice versa. So this accumulation was very noticeable. It's a very textbook one. We had the spring, we had the breaker structure here, we had up thrust action, pullback, LPSY into a 4-hour demand zone. The way I did this is everywhere you see these boxes, I have buy limits. And the way I'm trying to do this is I want to take out all of this inefficient price action, target these imbalances, these voids, target these supply zones. For instance, here, unmitigated supply zones. It's a very key level for the market to come to. We know this, the market can, because fundamentals are shifting. So what it was, I'm holding trades from here and I'm trying to ride it out as far as I can. The weekly as well, look on the high time frame, because again, the only way you're going to hold trades longer is analyzing the high time frame. You analyzing the minute time frame would not work at all. What it was, again, so I'm in buys, but then we do have selling areas here as well. So we have buying areas and selling areas in the market. Distributions are playing out here that will fit into filling this imbalance. Remember, an uptrend, we have high lows, and a good market uptrend has pullbacks. For instance, this, right? So don't be scared to say that this is going to just break all complete lows. It won't. If you understand why this first move initially happened, you'll be fine. So what the market did, what I did as well, I bought here and I was holding these buys. Price came around here and distributed. Once we had a clear distribution, again, I'm not really going to scale into the lower time frame, but do you see this move here, this wick? It was a test of a lower time frame 15-minute supply. So again, you're able to sell all the way back down to fill in this imbalance. You can see how price stopped here in this 4-hour supply as well, in this one. And it's just a recontinuation. This whole accumulation, if we outline this to be signs of strength, SOS, telling you the market is going upside. We've changed our character, if you really want to say. And what's happened? We pull down brilliantly. So again, I had buys here and sells here. Doesn't matter if these buyers are not really making much money. You could have closed some out if you really wanted to, but sells were closed here. I rode sells back down. Same thing you see here is happening here in this green box. Vice versa. I'm redoing buys. I'm holding buys here. I'm out of sells. I'm coming into buys. I'm following the market. Price rallied on and it broke structure. If you look carefully with this blue box and this line, we changed characters. We broke structure nicely. So that fuels me to start adding to hold these buys for longer and looking for re-entries. Again, it would have been better if we pulled down low, but the market's dynamic. So on the lower time frame, you see these reaccumulations you can possibly enter, and you follow supply and demand mainly as well. And again, what I'm highlighting is accumulations, reaccumulations, and distributions. And I'm following up with the news, what's happening with the dollar. Is there anything changing in the market? But nothing much is changing. So potentially you could have scalped buys in here while you're holding this. Again, we are all holding. We're not closing out just yet. Price does this, price kind of distributes, has a bit of a pull down and comes into a very key area. Again, if you look carefully what's happening here, it's the same thing. We're accumulating. So buys again were happening. Now I'm holding these buys, and these buys. Again, price is reaccumulating on it. And this, I believe, was a 2-hour demand. I remember it. Buyers again. I'm following it till we went super inefficient. Right? I'm now waiting for a distribution. We're coming to an area of resistance. So from all of this, right, you don't need to hold one position. If you follow the market from a higher time frame perspective, you can mainly ride this whole thing out, and ratio is very good on it. So this is one way I scaled it, by constantly adding positions on the market. Now if I'm in profit here, we get here, I can sell. We're in the selling area and we do need a pullback. Pullbacks do happen. I'm buying again. My account's getting bigger, right? Thanks to these sales close, my account's a bit bigger. I have a bit more free margin. I have margin to get in again, smaller. Now I'm holding this and this, and once we rallied off, my account is lovely in profit. Either I can shave, build the account, keep free flow margin as well. My margin's getting bigger for me to re-enter my free margin. I'm not tired on it, and we can look for re-entries. Vice versa, what I did then, after I saw this distribution, the market moving very inefficiently, I highlighted all of these imbalances, these points where the market can come to. These 4-hour supplies, for instance. So what I'm now doing is now I'm selling. Fundamentals are shifting as well. The dollar is getting stronger. I'm selling. And I'm not just selling for 1 or 2 pips or 1 to 2s. I'm selling to ride as far as I can possibly go. Even here, I was looking at levels from this imbalance to this imbalance, these voids here, and this consolidation. So once I got into the sell here, now it's just me following the market. Are there any possible retests? Again, you can see I did catch some retracements, these bullish moves up here, just low time frame moves. And what I'm initially looking for are redistributions to carry on the downtrend. So far we've got one, so I'm holding shorts. I'm trying to look for clear entry points if I can't really see it. For instance, we had one here. Price did remain on this supply. We did kind of break structure, so I did have one here. It was a very risky one, but everything was still pointing to the sell-off. So again, I'm holding positions and I'm re-entering and holding positions till all my points are hit. Until these points are coming down and shaving off following the market as well, following the momentum that's going on. You can see exactly what's happened. Price did come to this beautiful area here, this beautiful supply, and then the move upside did happen very nicely. So it's a very easy one to catch. So if you are in this trade, and this is a current trade, by the way, so you will see it. So it's just as simple as this accumulation happened, follow the uptrend, price pulled down nicely, came into this, bounce off the top of support bound, which was previous resistance for this, and the demand zone, and we rallied on. So it's the fact that you could hold buys from here, re-enter here, and hold it. So you have 2 entries, minimal risk, and this is one way I did scale my account. Again, it's a lot of drawing, it's a lot of this, but for those who are trying to build up their personal accounts, you don't always necessarily need to re-enter and hold. You could just have one position and hold. That's still fine. And the best way to do it is always check the weekly and monthly. What is happening? How did the months close? How did this week start? Right? Because the weekly, remember, the lower time frame is just there to satisfy the higher time frame movements. And I'm telling you, if you call, like, for instance, this supply zone here, distribution here, adds on the confirmation. If you call all of that with one lot, guys, your accounts, you'll be millionaires probably. Even at one lot, you're gonna make a lot of money. So looking at the weekly, understanding where we are, what's happening, how did the last week close, it's all very important. And this is the best way to actually scale your accounts on, is by either you're hedging, buying and selling at good points, holding positions for longer, and following high time frame movements. That's the only way you're going to hold positions for longer. So if there's any questions about more scaling accounts, feel free to shoot a DM in the Discord. I'm always here. And any other questions, just let me know, guys. But thanks for watching. Take care.